The offensive of the Russian army that began yesterday in the northern part of the Kharkiv region has already given its results. As it turned out, over the past 24 hours, Russian troops have managed to significantly advance into the depths of enemy territory, to a depth of 5 kilometers, and create a bridgehead of 10 kilometers wide. Moreover, Ukrainian sources admitted that the occupied by the Russian army territories are located 30 kilometers from the northern outskirts of the city of Kharkiv. At the same time, Ukrainian telegram channels denied the words of President Zelensky that the armed forces of Ukraine allegedly managed to stop the advance of the Russian army in the north of the Kharkiv region. According to them, the reserves of the Ukrainian army transferred to this direction of the front did not stop the advance of Russian troops, but only slightly slowed it down. Analyzing the situation in this sector of the front, it can be stated that as of May 11, 2024, Russian troops took control of such settlements as Borisovka, Pilnaya, Krasnoy, Streletsy, Gatichi, and Ogurtsova. At the same time, it is worth noting that as of May 11, Russian troops are still trying to dislodge the remnants of the armed forces of Ukraine from the southern outskirts of such settlements as Ogurtsova and Gatichi. At the moment, the grouping of troops of the Russian army under the designation North is advancing on enemy positions in two directions at once. This map clearly shows how Russian troops penetrated the defenses of the Ukrainian armed forces in the northwestern and northeastern parts of the Kharkiv region. Russian troops are advancing in different areas in order to stretch the defense of the armed forces of Ukraine, as a result of which the defensive positions of the Ukrainian army lose their effectiveness along the entire line of combat contact. At the same time, Russian combat aviation continues to launch massive bombing raids to a depth of 70-80 kilometers, destroying enemy logistics and heavy equipment. In the last 24 hours alone, 2 bridges and about 15 units of heavy equipment were destroyed in the Volchansk area. Moreover, not far from the village of Volchanskaya Katora, about 50 Ukrainian soldiers and officers from the Border Guard Service of the Armed Forces of Ukraine surrendered to Russian troops. According to war correspondents, the armed forces of Ukraine have built a fairly powerful line of defense in this sector of the front, and it will require quite some time and a lot of resources to break through this line of defense. According to them, Russian troops have managed to approach only the first line of defense of the armed forces of Ukraine so far, and it will take a lot of effort and resources to break through this line of defense. Well, my friends, it seems that the war correspondents have forgotten that the Russian army has effective means to destroy even the most powerful lines of defense. Most likely, very soon, in this sector of the front, we will witness massive bomb strikes, using super powerful Fab 3000 aerial bombs, which will literally erase from the face of the earth all the defensive lines of the Ukrainian army. Meanwhile, the Ukrainian General Staff continues denying the Ukrainian Army's territorial losses in the northern part of the Kharkiv region. On May 11, representatives of the Ukrainian General Staff officially stated that the Ukrainian armed forces allegedly continue to successfully restrain Russian troops, preventing them from moving deeper into Ukrainian territory. However, the famous Ukrainian journalist, Anatoly Shchery, urged his compatriots not to believe the words of the Ukrainian General Staff. According to him, all statements by representatives of the Ukrainian General Staff are pure lies and propaganda. Surprisingly, even American military experts from the Institute for the Study of War also refuted the words of the Ukrainian General Staff. According to them, over the past 24 hours, the Russian army has achieved significant tactical successes in the northern part of the Kharkiv region. Moreover, the Americans also admitted that the Russian troops managed to approach the city of Kharkiv at a distance of 30 kilometers, and that very soon the Russian artillery would be able to shell the positions of the armed forces of Ukraine located in this city. My friends, in general, watching the actions of the Russian army in the north of the Kharkiv region, it becomes clear that the Russian command pursues several goals. To push back the Ukrainian armed forces from the borders of the Belgorod and Kursk regions, as well as to create an effective flashpoint that will force the Ukrainian army to transfer to the north of the Kharkiv region reserves and forces from other sectors of the front. And based on how things are going in this sector of the front, Russian troops are quite successfully achieving this strategically important goal, which will undoubtedly be the beginning of the end of the armed forces of Ukraine. By the way, while I was creating this video, disturbing news for the Kiev regime began to arrive from the Sumy region. As it turned out, while General Sersky was transferring reserves to Kharkiv from other sectors of the front, the Russian High Military Command began to build up troops near the border with the Sumy region. All this indicates that the turning point in the current war might not be too far in the future.